you have outgrown that season and you have outgrown that version of yourself. And this is where I am. I feel like I have really outgrown a version of myself that has just known survival, that has just known playing it nice, playing it safe, playing it comfortable. And now 30-year-old Brittany, 31-year-old Brittany, about to be 32-year-old Brittany, it's like, forget all of that. I would flip all of this over, okay? I would get rid of all of this if my peace, my joy, my sanity is maintained on the other side of it. Hello ladies, and welcome to The Reset, where we are elevating in all things faith, identity, and feminine purpose. I'm Brittany, your new internet sister and entertaining host on this journey of becoming. So today we are here with a chit chat, get ready with me, a everyday makeup tutorial slash I'm ready to yap about things I'm no longer apologizing for in my 30s. So go ahead and get comfortable, get your snack, get your makeup brushes if you wanna, go along with me, and let's get into today's video. So y'all, if you are new here, let's go ahead and start off with an introduction. Like I said, my name is Brittany. I am 31. I will be 32 this November 30th. And as many women, when you get in your 30s, it's like almost just like I don't even know how to describe it. It's like when I turned 30, it's like I hit like I'm grown now, I'm, figuring this out. But something over these last few months has come upon me to where I am like seriously like, okay, what's going on here? Now, a little bit of a trigger warning. If you are, sensitive to topics of child loss and things like that, you might want to skip past this part. But unfortunately, this January, I did have a miscarriage. And as unfortunate and as sad as that was, it did something for me that was necessary. And I know that sounds so horrible. And sometimes I don't like to talk about it because I'm like, does that even make sense? But when I did experience that, it's like also a very passive part of me, a very just kind of go with the flow of life part of me kind of left with it, to where it really kind of like woke me up, matured me a lot, and just made me really have to sit and reflect over these past few months. What am I doing about my life? What do I really want for my life? And I'm tired of life just happening to me. Of course, we cannot control outside influences and things like that happen. But I also had to sit and look at the things that are within my control that I just have not been doing. So let's go ahead and get priming. I'm going in with this niacinamide glow up serum. This is from the Dollar Tree, y'all. This is very much drugstore, very much on a budget. But yes, so since that experience, I have really just been on a journey of sitting with the Lord and myself, figuring out, who am I? What am I on this earth for? What do I want out of this life? And what is my part to play in doing that? Now, I'm gonna give a little bit of a disclaimer, y'all. I am not a makeup artist. I'm really not even like that great of makeup, in my opinion. Like, my makeup looks good to me from a distance, but then you get close up and it's kind of like, something's not right here. So this can either go really well or this can go really horrible. But I think the conversation will be fun. So like, let's just have a good time, right? So this video is about things I'm no longer apologizing for in my 30s. And number one on that list is no longer apologizing for the fact that I do not want to live a mediocre lifestyle. Now, for my base, I'm going in with the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm, the universal shade. When I say that I don't want to live a mediocre lifestyle, I'm a Christian. Okay, and we very much can sometimes celebrate suffering. Now, Jesus did tell us, you will suffer because of my name. You will suffer because they hated me, and if they hated me, they're going to hate you. However, there is, for a fact, we know that every Christian everywhere is not suffering. And every Christian may or may not live to be persecuted. Now, although we know that persecution and suffering is a part of this Christian walk of following Jesus, we don't have to add to the suffering by being mediocre. You don't have to lie to yourself and say, well, I'm just comfortable with barely being able to pay my bills, just having enough, getting up every day, doing a life that I hate just because I don't want to come off as ungrateful or like I'm a lover of money and lover of the world. Listen, I'm not a lover of money and I'm not a lover of the world, but I'm also not a lover of poverty. I'm also not a lover of getting up every day and being miserable just for the sake of. Now, yes, there are believers and Christians in other countries, our brothers and sisters in Christ. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going in with the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer now. I don't know if this is even necessary, but like I said, we're here for the vibes, right? But there are Christians, our brothers and sisters in Christ, who are in other countries who are literally being persecuted, and they don't have a choice in the matter. But we here in America, if you are in a country where freedom of religion is still our right, we still have the right to make choices and have freedom, I think that we should use that freedom to be great and to do great things, because it's not just about us. Me living a mediocre life does not just affect me. It affects everyone around me. It affects all of the people that I can possibly come in contact with and can bless, and also be able to give them the love and the tangible help of Jesus Christ. But if I'm just so focused on surviving, and I think that that's humility, who am I really helping? So yeah, I'm no longer apologizing for the fact that I don't want to be mediocre. I don't want to be broke. I don't want to live in poverty. I don't want to wake up every day and do something that I hate just cause. I don't want to make just enough money to get by. I want to be able to live a life where I can go on vacation. I can have slow mornings if that's my choice. Have the freedom to do the things and exercise the gifts that the Lord has given me, and not be tied to a 9-to-5 job if that is not within my purpose. And for me, I know specifically working just a regular 9-to-5, it just does not fit with my personality at all. So I know that that cannot be God's will for me. For concealer, I'm going in with the Fenty Beauty. This is in shade, I have no idea. I'm sorry. You know, after a while, the stuff started disappearing off of the paper. But we're gonna go in with a highlight. And I gotta remember to close my mouth. Y'all, I'm already like, this is already not aesthetic. I'm sorry. I really want to get on here and be real cutesy. But okay. Yes. So where were we? Not living a mediocre lifestyle. And a lot of my creator journey over the past 2 years since I launched this brand, I have struggled a lot with how I show up on the internet. Excuse me, y'all. It's my mom. 1 second. I struggled a lot with how I show up, because I felt like doing content or anything online as a Christian, doing ministry, it has to look like preaching the gospel, you know, talking about Jesus all the time, very like, you know, just a very one-tracked way of how we are supposed to show up. I struggled with doing any type of content like this, doing my makeup, doing get readies with me, really vlogging. Like I started vlogging and I really got discouraged. And you know, I know my mom didn't mean it. Anyway, Mom, if you're watching this, I know you didn't mean it that way. I know what you were telling me was from the Lord. But I got discouraged because my mom was kind of like, you know, yeah, I enjoyed the vlogs, but I see you know, you need to get back to teaching. You're teaching videos and really talking about the Bible and things like that. And I know that the Lord has called me to teach. He has given me a gift and ability to teach. And I do that. And I sometimes enjoy doing that. It is a little bit of a stretch just because I'm working on my confidence within myself. But it really, like I said, discouraged me because it took me back to that default setting of there's one way to show up. There's one way to do ministry. There's one way to spread the gospel. And I have had to, you know, really sit more with the Lord. And this, like I said, it's not my mom's fault. It's up to me to be fully clear and confident in what the Lord is calling me to do. But I've had to, you know, sit and reflect on the Lord. What do I want to do? What is it, Lord, that I believe that you are calling me to do? I have this vision in my heart that I see myself doing things in spaces that are not directly Christian. Doing things in spaces where I don't have to outrightly talk about Jesus, yet and still not hiding my faith, but letting my excellence speak for me and not having to directly say, oh, I'm a Christian, you know, letting my lifestyle, my excellence speak for me, and then being able to tell people about Jesus because of the way that I show up in my life. And I believe that is a part of the non-mediocre life that I want to live. And this is not to say that people who do that are mediocre. No. I think people who are showing up in their authentic self and doing what the Lord has told them to do, they are exactly where they're supposed to be. But being true to myself is knowing that I know that I am very multifaceted. And there is more to life and more to my passions and more that I want to do. And that is something I am no longer apologizing for. So for foundation, I am going in with the Maybelline Lumi Matte Foundation. This is in the shade 355. And this is like a more everyday tutorial. So I'm not going to do a whole bunch. Okay, I got it in my hair. And I'm going in with this foundation brush. I love this brush. It's literally like a paintbrush, y'all. Oh snap, y'all already done forgot that I put concealer on already. I'm already taking the foundation. Y'all, I told y'all I don't know how this is going to go. We already messing up. Jesus. Now for my eyebrows, we are going in with the NYX brow glue. Usually I do this step first, but obviously I was just so excited to get this video started that I done forgot the whole way that I do my makeup. Now, one thing I learned about this product is that she will turn white on you, so you really have to like work her in and pay attention to like what's going on. And usually, and yeah, I definitely should have did this first before my foundation, but nothing I can do about that now, right, huh? I'm going to do my eyebrows real quick off camera because if I don't focus, they're going to be checked. But I'm going in also with another NYX product. This is the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen. Brow Tint Pen in the shade Espresso. So, I'll be right back. We are back. Eyebrows are done to the best that I can get them. Because you know when you really need your eyebrows to look good, they don't want to. Nevertheless, now we're going to go in with a little lighter highlight, and this is by Tarte, the Ultra Creamy, and this is in shade 47H, Tan Deep Honey. So I am just going to put that more so in my inner corners, and I don't like to put my concealer too high up just because my eye creases, and anytime I put my concealer starting up too high, it looks crazy. I really just want to do that there, a little bit on my nose, a little bit on my forehead, and then we're going to go in with a contour using the Black Opal foundation stick, and this is in shade Ebony Brown, and I'm just going to do a little bit. And I just do a really small little, like kind of like triangle here on the side, because then as I blend it, it's going to like kind of come down. And then we'll put a little bit in here. Okay, I think that's too much. My nose is gonna be chiseled today. Second thing that I'm no longer apologizing for in my 30s is for being a low-key loner. Now, when I say loner, I'm not saying it like I don't like people, I don't want to be around people. I'm saying it as I am perfectly okay with spending time with myself. I am not a high maintenance friend. I'm not the friend that you have to check on every day. I'm okay, you know, if we don't, you know, hang out every week. I am perfectly okay with being in my house. When I tell you I be having a time by myself, I'm funny, okay? I entertain myself. I be in here just a kicking with my legs kicked up, toes curled, because I'm in here making myself laugh, especially on TikTok. I be having a time. I enjoy peace. I enjoy quiet. I enjoy time by myself. And I am no longer apologizing for that. Sometimes, you know, and of course with keeping friends, you have to break out of that. You have to get out the house. You have to spend time with people and things like that. But, you know, a lot of times I would overly inconvenience myself to hang out, to talk every day, you know, just for the sake of wanting to keep friends and appease people. But like sometimes I be overstimulated, like especially after being out of my house, like social situations, you got a few hours out of me before I'm like, all right, it's time to go. But one thing I tell my 20-year-old self is, girl, get to know yourself more. And it will save you from being around people who really don't even like you like that. Being in spaces that you don't even really like just because you don't quite know how to be alone. You just want to be in the crowd. Now that I'm in my 30s, I'm like, I don't care about none of that. Like, when I want to be outside, oh, I'll be outside. I can talk, I can hang. You know, I think that I'm a vibe. But if I didn't have to do that, I would very much well still be okay. Now, I have been seeing a lot of banter on the internet about low maintenance versus high maintenance friends. And I think that it's okay for everybody to have their preferences for the type of relationships and the friendships that they want to have. I think as long as everybody is being honest and openly communicating what it is that they want and expect, then I think that there is no issue with being friends with people who are a little different than you. Now, if you are a friend who just knows that you gotta be with your girl, your friend very often, and she is the complete opposite of that, then, you know, maybe we should just reevaluate what it is that you really want out of a friendship. Because if one person is constantly having to compromise what they want and need just for the sake of peace, eventually, or just for the sake of just wanting to be in a relationship with this person just because, you know, whatever, eventually resentment is going to start to grow. And that's not healthy for anybody. If you are a low maintenance friend, you are like me, you very much enjoy your peace, you enjoy being alone. What I'm learning to do is I'm just going to have to communicate that up front. As I'm meeting new people now in my 30s, and you know, I'm really hoping and praying and believing that the Lord will continue to introduce me to new friends, mature friendships now, as I'm getting older, women who are, you know, kind of on the same journey, but even older women. Like, I've been praying, asking the Lord, I want to hang with like some women in their 40s. Like, I want to see women who are certain of themselves. Like, what is y'all doing? What is the formula? Give me the secret to this life. But, you know, just really communicating like, hey, you know, I'm not the type that you have to feel like you have to, you know, check on me or call me all the time. And if, you know, I get a little silent and it's too much for you, you know, please know that it's not coming from a ungenuine or a place like, you know, I just don't want to be bothered. I don't like you. I love you. But girl, I'll be in here just having a time by myself. And sometimes, you know, I don't be realizing that I'm like isolated from the whole world, because sometimes I genuinely don't know what be going on. I get on the internet and everybody be in an uproar about something somebody said and somebody did, and I be like, I was just laughing at baby videos. I don't know what y'all talking about. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with my blush before I I think I'm gonna do a little bit more of like a bake. Do we still use that terminology? Are we still baking? I don't know. And this is the Juvia's Place Rosy Posy. They having a time out there. What's going on? Oh, it is the World Cup, huh? I think they're having a watch party in my clubhouse. This is a very pigmented blush, so if you use a lot, girl, you're gonna be in here blending for hours. And I like to bring my blush up and like kind of like in, and I will also put some on my nose as well. I really like that look. I don't know what it's called. I'm not really up to par on all of the makeup techniques. I just, if I see it on somebody else and I like it, I'm gonna do it. And I like that, so I'm doing it. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with a setting powder. Now this, if you are an OG, then you know about this Sacha Buttercup. Now this is probably so expired, and I'm so embarrassed to say, but y'all, if it ain't broke, I'm definitely not gonna try to fix it. So I think I will just slap that on there for a little nostalgia, you know. Bake. This was all the rave back in college. It's crazy that this is probably still the original one that I had since then. Oh my gosh, I probably need to throw this away. Nevertheless, so I am not really that much of an eyeshadow person. It's not really like my expertise, but I would do like a little 1-2. So I'm just gonna do something really natural. I'm gonna go in with my MAC Studio Finish Concealer in NW45 and just kind of use that as my primer for my lids. I'm going to use the Milani Ungilded Most Loved Matte eyeshadow palette, and I think I'm just probably going to do just like a little orangey brown type of ordeal. Something, well, I got on pink blush, so maybe I should do pink. Let's do pink. I'll do like a brown as my transition shade in the corners. Is that a transition shade? Yeah, like when you do it like in the middle, in the corners, that's your transition. I don't know. Ask Google. That's cute. And then for my inner corners, I'm gonna go in with this like middle pink color, Smell the Roses, right here. And then that's it. We're not even gonna make this overly complicated. I lied. I think I want to go in with just a little lighter baby pink in my inner corner. And then I'm going to go back in with that brush I used for my transition and just kind of blend that out. And that's it, honey. That's it. Now I'm going to go in and kind of dust off and blend in this setting powder and talk about the final thing that I am no longer apologizing for in my 30s, and that is I am no longer apologizing for walking away from situations that no longer bring me peace. In other words, I'm finally laying to rest the people pleaser side of me. Now I'm gonna go in and kind of set my face a little bit because it's starting to look a little dry and ashy. I'm using the Revolution Super Fix Super Hold. Now I'm not gonna drown myself. I'm gonna do that after, like when I'm done. Woo! So, no longer apologizing from walking away from situations that no longer bring me peace. In other words, as I said, I am finally laying to rest the people pleaser attitude. I have been feeling like I am entering my villain era. And I know that sounds so horrible to say as a believer. No, not where I'm just gonna be mean and spiteful and hateful and unforgiving and not give grace. But what I'm saying is I am going to be so authentically true to myself, true to my boundaries, true to my beliefs, that I am okay with letting go anybody that does not align with that. I have for so long just kind of given in on my boundaries, given in on my peace, just for the sake of making other people feel comfortable, of helping people, of wanting to protect my reputation, protect my name, or whatever it is. And now I'm getting to the point where I don't care. I'm okay with being the villain in your story if I can be the hero in my own and free my mind, free my nervous system from carrying the weight and the expectations of trying to please everybody else. This can go for career paths, because I've also been in a space where I'm trying to figure out if what I'm doing is even what I want to do, like with my job. Like, I'm grateful for a paycheck. I'm grateful to be able to take care of myself, but I'm not here to just survive, okay? I want a peaceful and a free life. Now I'm gonna go with some bronzer, y'all, with the Juvia's Place bronzer palette in dark. And talking to like my aunts are in their 50s. And you know, even someone that the Lord has given to me as a kind of like a big sister, a very mature believer in Christ, who really just, you know, she will tell me the truth. She holds me accountable. She listens to me. She helps me. She was one of the first investors into my business. I love her so much. Brenna, if you ever happen to stumble across this, you truly are my sister from another mother, y'all. But she is someone who I have been blessed to be able to go to for truth and true godly wisdom and advice. And one thing that has been the common theme from my aunt, from her, from my mom is, as you are getting up in age, you have got to protect your peace. And this is not just for the sake of, you know, everybody talks about protect your peace, protect your peace. I feel like it's starting to become a little bit of a cliche, but truly for your health, if you don't protect your peace, if you allowing things to weigh you down, stress you out, that is going to be so horrible on your body in the long run. And I have been in a space where I have been really like feeling so much anxiety, struggling and fighting with it. Of course, you know, the Lord definitely heals from all things, but a lot of times anxiety is because we carry things that we are not meant to carry. We are trying to hold on to things, situations, people, mindsets, and it is ruining your peace and your nervous system because you have outgrown that season and you have outgrown that version of yourself. And this is where I am. I feel like I have really outgrown a version of myself that has just known survival, that has just known playing it nice, playing it safe, playing it comfortable. And now 30-year-old Brittany, 31-year-old Brittany, about to be 32-year-old Brittany, it's like, forget all of that. I will flip all of this over, okay? I would get rid of all of this if my peace, my joy, my sanity is maintained on the other side of it. Okay, so I went in and did my eyeliner off camera, and now I'm going in with the e.l.f. lash extender for my mascara. I am definitely not really a lashes girl anymore. I don't know, that is something that has kind of fell off of me since turning 30, is where I just don't like a bunch of stuff up on my lashes. I like a nice little, cute little lash moment. So let me go ahead and do this, and then we'll come back, and I think we're really done. I think we're done. Okay. Mascara's done. Very light, very natural, very cute. So to finish off, I'm going in with the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder, and this is in the shade 35 Deep. And I'm mostly just gonna use these like in my corners, like especially near my mouth. That is the first place that I start to crease at, there and under my eyes. And then I'm going back in with my Revolution Super Fix, and now I'm really going to spray my face. So y'all hold your nose because we're about to go to work. Now for lips, I'm going in with the Juvia's Place lip liner. This is in Cocoa Latte. And I like to kind of outline my lips just slightly. And then for my actual lip color, I'm going with the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream, and it's, can you see that? I don't think we can see that. I can't pronounce that, y'all. Istanbul. I don't know, friend, but that's what we're doing. It's a very like cute pink. And I'm just gonna do that right just in the middle, because I don't want it to be too much of a bright pink. And then for gloss, we're finishing up with the Dior, which I just found out this was a lip plumper. All this time I'm thinking it's a cute little pink gloss. No, it says lip plumper. But I like the color anyway, so we're using it. I remember I was like, oh, this is like spicy. I just thought like, maybe it's just, you know, the formula. I don't know. Girl, no, it's a lip plumper. I gotta start reading. That's it. Let's get these clips out and let's do the final reveal. So that's it today for this makeup tutorial and chit chat. Get ready with me. I really hope that you ladies enjoyed this video. Comment down below, let me know if you are in your 30s or older than that, what are things that you are no longer apologizing for? And if you are in your 20s, leave that in the comments. What is the most exciting thing that you are looking forward to in your 30s? I love you ladies. I thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.